Morning all. I've just done my little school run and I wanted to share something and try and condense it and put it out there while it's fresh in my mind. Recently I've been having, as I say, these visions and dreams which I've always had, but I am going to be sharing them as and when they come, if I feel like they are going to benefit you guys and bring maybe just an ounce of curiosity to you. The most recent vision that I had was this connection that we have between what we would call heaven or higher realms and us in our earthly vessels, our earthly skin suits. We have this vertebrae, this spine, as you know, and I'm learning, because I'm a yoga teacher, I'm going back to some of my previous basic anatomy studies, and again really looking and focusing on the spine and all the vertebrae columns and the direction of movement and all that sort of stuff. And as I was looking at this spine, something clicked in me from a spiritual perspective, and I saw this image of the spine being like a gateway or a divining rod or a connection rod between higher realms of consciousness, the tailbone being down on earth. And as I saw it, the spine became like a key, and the key, the turning point that you put in the lock, was in the sacral area, bottom, where we land on earth in this vessel. We were the key parts, and then this spinal cord was connecting to heaven, and this glorious light was pouring through this spinal column, aka a human vessel, and grounding down into heaven, and we became locks. We became physical keys to unlock these realms in heaven. And what I saw in order to get was having to empty oneself of programming, of religiosity, that keep us blinded from the truth that we are spiritual beings, that we are these eternal creations, and that whilst we're here on earth, we can have that divine channeling connection to heavenly realms and heavenly consciousness and heavenly wisdom and heavenly knowledge. And we can also be and see different realms of reality, different timelines, different portals. I was seeing, as this light was pouring in through my vessel, as a key that was on earth at this time, that divinity could flow through me and many, many others. There was loads of people that were here as keys, unlocking heaven on earth. There's nothing religious about it. It was just how it worked. And yet we have been blind to this other. There's so much other. The more I looked at it, the more I was like, there's so much to see. There's so much to explore. There's so much here that is not visible to the human eye. Yet when you're connected to this light and this divine connection, I was able to see things that were invisible to the person next to me, or there's people around me because they're just walking around, getting in their car, doing their 9 to 5, completely unaware of the ability to see, hear, and be connected and have this interconnectedness. And then I was seeing that we are the light of the world. But we have to open that part of us that allows that light of divinity to be within us and allow it to come in. It's like a library of information. It's a film, like having a Netflix series of all these realms that you can watch and you're connected to this divinity. And as I saw that we were these keys, I panned out and I saw the body, earthly body, from a very spiritual perspective. And obviously I'm talking about the spinal column and the almost like the Jacob's ladder. But I saw the body as a map, and that the map was sort of showing, it was a direct reflection, as above so below. It was a direct reflection of principalities or systems or coding, the way the body has been constructed and the way things function and all the different aspects of how a body is. It was like a map to things that existed in these other realms. And so when we were understanding the body, we could see this divine intellect that had been placed in the body, in the way that we are created as human. And the more I saw it, the more I realized that we are literal treasures of heaven on earth. We are the treasure. We are holding this knowledge just in the way we have been created. The knowledge is within us, and it didn't come alive. There was no knowledge of that truth until the vessel was connected and the eye was clear. There's a verse that says, once the eye is clear, the whole body is full of light. But if the eye is not clear, then the body cannot be filled with light. There's this feeling of when you open up your spiritual eyes to see the connection, this light can flood through you, which is the light of divinity, the light of consciousness, the light of creation, the light of all of it. And we're also intimately connected to it. And yet so many people walk around completely unaware of it. And as I was looking through the eyes of this map of the human body being a representation of as above, so below, I saw like how it all just mirrored one another. And I just had this overwhelming sensation of, my gosh, we are literally carrying the blueprints of creation within us. And there is nothing that's unattainable or inaccessible to us. The only thing that's preventing that is not being able to see it, not being connected, not being in a state of awareness and connectivity. And as I was watching from this perspective, I was seeing all these portals around the physical world. I saw some in Egypt, I was seeing some in the desert, and people were just sort of going in and out of these portals or these caves that were clearly visible to me from this perspective, but from a human perspective with human eyes, I would not have seen it. I would just like, oh, that's somewhere in Africa, that's a nice desert plain. But from this perspective, it was like, that's a portal, and they're going into these other realms at this particular location. And it was almost like the world also was of different places of access to different realms of consciousness and different worlds, and it was quite fascinating. No, I wasn't on the old, but no, sober as a judge, and quite frankly, I don't need anything to have these experiences. My eyes are open and I'm seeing more and more, and I just don't know if any of that resonates. But that what came out of it for me was, we are wonderfully created, more so than we ever realized. We're not just skin. We're not just flesh and bone living this mundane life. We hold the keys to all of it. Like, we're part of it. We're intricately connected to creation itself. It's beautiful. We are a blueprint. We are clues to the divine wowness, like the awesomeness of creation. And we walk around holding it. And when we connect to ourselves, to divinity, and we open ourselves up through meditation or through whatever practice you feel drawn to help you access that, things will start opening up. Once your eyes are open, you can't not see what things are available. So yeah, maybe ask if you're keen for these type of experiences. Just ask. I want to see some of that. I want to know who I am. I want to know my connection to the divine. I want to know how to move in a different way.